Hello dear ones, welcome to today's class. Today we are moving on to the 5th chapter of our grammar book. So everyone turn to page number 25 of your grammar book. There you could see today's topic. It's all about transitive and intransitive verbs. So you might have studied about verbs in your previous grades, but you might be hearing about transitive and intransitive verbs for the first time. So first we will see what are verbs and then we will move on to what are transitive and intransitive verbs. So what is a verb? Yes, very good. Verb is a word that denotes an action. Can you give me an example for verbs? Yes, sleeping, jumping, walking, whatever action that we do comes under the category verbs, right? So today we are going to learn about two types of verbs. So transitive and intransitive verbs. So before going on to what is transitive and what is intransitive verb, first I want to tell you the sentence pattern of English. For example, I will write a sentence like so here we have a sentence called as she likes a tea. And now every sentence in English do have a pattern. So it will be like the pattern is called as SVO pattern. So what is this S? S is subject, V is verb and O is object. So this is the pattern for English sentence. So there will be a subject. So what is the subject? Here subject she. And what is the verb? Here likes is the verb. And now what is the object? Tea. So somebody who does the action is the subject and somebody who receives the action is the object. So here she is the subject, tea is the object and we do have a verb. So this is the major pattern. Most sentence in English comes under the pattern subject, verb and object. And there are certain sentences that do not need an object. So the pattern will be SV pattern. Okay. So either most of the sentence in English will be in SVO pattern or otherwise SV pattern. Okay. So moving on to what are transitive and intransitive verbs. First we will see what are transitive verbs. So first we will see the example, then we will move on to the definition of transitive verbs. So first just see this example. I caught a fish in the pond. And the next one, we eat pancakes for breakfast. So first what you have to do, you have to find out the subject, verb and object in the sentence. So first we will take the second example. We eat pancakes for breakfast. So what is the subject here? We is the subject. And what is the object? Object is pancakes and verb is eat. So SVO pattern. So the sentence is in SVO pattern. So now you have to imagine this sentence without the object. Okay. So I am going to cut this pancakes from this sentence and now we are going to imagine the sentence without the object. We eat for breakfast. Does the meaning is complete? No, right? Because if we add the object, then only the meaning of the whole sentence will be complete, right? Just imagine the sentence without the object. We eat for breakfast. Does it have a complete meaning? We eat what? We eat pancakes. So the pancakes, the object is necessary here to complete the meaning of the sentence. So the verbs that require object to complete the meaning of the sentence. That means transitive verbs are the verbs that require the help of the object to complete the meaning in a sentence. If the transitive verb does not have an object in a sentence, the verb will not have complete meaning. We eat what? We eat pancakes. So pancakes should be there in a sentence. So a transitive verb requires an object to express a complete thought. Okay, so it transfers the action of the subject onto the object. That means transitive verbs are verbs that require the help of the object to complete the meaning. Without the object, the meaning will be incomplete. So this is the tip to identify transitive verb in a sentence. First, you have to identify the sentence pattern in a sentence. That means whether we have a subject, whether we have a verb, whether we have an object. And you have to imagine a sentence without the object. And if there is no object and the meaning is incomplete, then that verb is called as transitive verb. So, transitive, once again I am telling, transitive verbs are verbs that need the help of the object to complete the meaning. Just see the next two examples. I hurt my ankle. So here, what is the subject? Subject is I. What is the verb hurt? Hurt what? If you ask what to your verb, you will get answer as object. Hurt what? Hurt my ankle. Object. So I hurt. Just imagine the sentence without the object. I hurt. Meaning is incomplete, right? So my ankle is needed to complete the meaning. Now next one, just see. So hence it is a transitive verb. Now Suhasini bought a new dress for herself. So what is the subject? Who is doing the action? Suhasini. So here we have subject. And what is the verb? Bought. Now bought what? A new dress. So just see, without the object, Suhasini bought for herself. Meaning is incomplete. So object is required to complete the meaning. So such verbs are called as transitive verbs. Okay. Now transitive verbs such as give, ask, promise can take more than one object. So you have to keep this in mind, very important. Transitive verbs such as give, ask and promise can have more than one object. So what is this more than one object? So in a sentence there can be two objects. Not only one object, two objects. So that two objects are called as either direct object or indirect object. So in a sentence there can be two objects and that objects are called as either a direct object or an indirect object. So now we will see what is a direct object, how to find out a direct object and how to find out an indirect object in a sentence. Okay, just see what is a direct object. The object that receives the action of the verb. That means this the same. That means the object of the verb that receives the action. So it's a direct object. So you can find out the direct object by asking verb what. If you ask verb what, you will get the answer direct object. Just see, we will find out in this example. Riya gave her friends a few books. So what is the subject here? Subject is Riya. Subject is Riya. And what is the verb? Verb is gave. So you ask gave what? Gave what? You got the answer as few books. So gave what? Few books. This is the direct object. So you ask what to the verb, you will get direct object. So here one more object is there. So that is indirect object. And how to find out indirect object we will now learn. The indirect object is the person, animal or thing that is affected by the direct object. That means somebody who is affected by the direct object comes under the category indirect object. For example, just see the same example. What is the subject? Riya is the subject, gave is the verb and we got gave what? We got the answer as few books. So this is the direct object. I am writing here as DO. Okay. And now you ask verb to whom or for whom. You ask any these two questions. Gave to whom? Gave few books to whom? To her friends. So we got indirect object. So you ask verb to whom or for whom, you will get the answer as indirect object. Just once again I will explain. First identify the subject, verb and direct object. Now to identify direct object is very easy. You ask what to the verb, you will get answer as direct object, and then you ask to whom or for whom to the verb. Gave to whom? Gave few books to whom? Her friends. So we got the answer as indirect object. So this is the tip for identifying direct object and indirect object in a sentence. Okay, so now moving on to intransitive verbs. So what are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are verbs that need the help of the object to complete the meaning of a sentence. Without the object, transitive verb does not have a meaning. Now moving on to intransitive, exact opposite. Just see this one. The boy was crying. Mahima ran a long distance. So we will see. The boy was crying. Boy is the subject, was crying is the verb, and we don't have any object here, right? Crying for what? Not needed. But the meaning is complete, right? The boy was crying. If we say the boy was crying, the meaning is complete. If we don't want to know like for what he was crying, it will be giving an additional meaning only. But if we say the sentence as the boy was crying, the meaning is complete because the verb is intransitive. And now just see the next one. Mahima ran a long distance. Mahima ran is the verb. Mahima ran a long distance. So if we say Mahima ran a long distance, the meaning is complete. Mahima ran to where or to what reason? It's not necessary, okay? So the verbs crying, ran do not need any object to express a complete thought. The sentences make a complete sense without the object also. So a verb that does not need an object to express a complete thought is called as intransitive verb, okay? So transitive verb needs object. Intransitive verb does not need object, okay? So this is the tip or the short form, okay? Transitive verb need the object, intransitive verb does not need the object. Just see the example, she left. She left to where? So she left for what? Not necessary, right? Left, the meaning is complete. The guests arrived. Guests arrived for what? For what reason? Not needed. Object is not needed. Hemant was asleep. Hemant was asleep for what reason? It's not necessary. The meaning is complete in this sentence. So the verb that does not need an object to express a complete meaning are called as intransitive verbs, okay? So now we are going to do exercise number 3 of your textbook. So everyone take page number 28 of your textbook. There we are going to find out intransitive verb and transitive verbs from these sentences. So what is the question? Identify the type of verbs in the following sentences. Write T for transitive and IN for intransitive in the blanks. So now you have to do it along with me, okay? So first one, we are going to read the first one. We met her in Hyderabad. So we is the subject. We is the subject, met is the verb. And it does not, met for what? Meaning is not given, so object is not needed. Met for what? You ask what to the verb. If you don't get any object there, but the meaning is complete, then that is called as intransitive verb. So write here in IN, intransitive verb. So next one, the train leaves at 10 p.m. The last train, subject, leaves is the verb. Leaves for what? Not given. Object is not given, but meaning is complete. The last train leaves at 10 p.m. So it is IN, again intransitive verb. Now moving on to next one. My friend eats rice very slowly. So my friend is the subject. Eats is the verb. Now eats what? Rice. So if you don't have the object here, my friend eats very slowly. But what he eats very slowly? So object is necessary. So if we cut the rice, the meaning is incomplete. So it is called as transitive verb. Now the principal signed the letter. The principal is the subject, signed is the verb. Signed what? Letter. So here we have object. The principal signed, without the object, meaning is incomplete. So it's again transitive verb. Now moving on to the next one. The trees look beautiful in the rain. Trees. Subject, look is the verb. Look what? Look what? It's not given. Look beautiful in the rain. So beautiful is here is the adjective, not the object. Here beautiful is the adjective, okay. It's not the object, so you have to keep that in mind. So here it's intransitive verb because object is not given, and without the object also meaning is complete. Now next one. The homeless man was sleeping on the bench in the park. The homeless man is the subject, was sleeping is the verb. The homeless man was sleeping what? Sleeping for what reason? Not given, but he was sleeping on a bench is given. So object is not given, but the meaning is complete. So what it is? It's intransitive verb. Now it was a full noon night. It was a full noon night. So was is the verb. Full, it is the subject. It was a full noon night. It was what? Not given. So intransitive verb. Without the object also meaning is complete. Now next one. The poor lady blessed the boy as he gave her some food. The poor lady is the subject. Blessed is the verb. Blessed what? Blessed the boy. Object is given. So just see, without the object, the poor lady blessed as he gave her some food. So without the object boy, meaning is incomplete. So it's called as transitive verb. So first one is intransitive, second one is intransitive, third one transitive, fourth transitive, fifth intransitive, sixth one intransitive, seventh one intransitive, and the last one transitive. So this is the way to identify. So write, first identify the subject, then write there as S, and then identify the verb, write there as V, and then look for the object. If there is no object, then it's intransitive verb. If there is no object and still the sentence is complete, that is called as intransitive. And then look for the object. If without the object meaning is incomplete, then it is transitive verb. Okay. Now homework for you. Grammar book, chapter number 5, exercise number 1. Okay, you have to write your answers in your grammar book only, and we will discuss the answers during our live interaction. Okay, until we meet next time, thank you.